I did that last week. So Heather was like right there, and I still said inside. Okay, here's a question for you. Do you know someone who is an interrupter? This is like a Seinfeld episode, the interrupter.
Plus, you know that phrase, let me finish?
Let me finish.
How big
Remember
of a
Ross
problem?
Perot? Let me finish, let me finish, let me finish.
Are you interrupting me? Are you interrupting me already, Raul? That could be a big problem. So we're going to talk about it today with personality profiler Dr. Levak joins us. I love it when you talk about these things because we come up with all these wonderful relationship topics with you, and we go home and end up having to have the conversation.
We apply it to real life.
Yeah, we've saved your marriage.
Absolutely. First things first. Do most people hate being interrupted when they're speaking? Because I would say yes, but maybe not.
You know, there are basically two kinds of interruptions. There are good interruptions and bad interruptions.
Right.
So that if I'm talking and you have a good idea that's on the same topic and you interrupt, or when you're with a best friend and you're all chatting and interrupting one another, it's a good interruption. It's a bad interruption if someone interrupts just to argue. You know, last Monday when we were talking, it wasn't Monday, it was Tuesday. That's a bad interruption.
It's like the presidential debates.
Yes.
There was a lot of interrupting, there was a lot of let me finish, there was a lot of please, and that happens a lot, right?
That happens a lot. And it shows that people are not trying to get to the truth together. They're not trying to understand what's really going on. They're just arguing.
Right.
So interruptions when it's an argument are not useful.
Can it ever be good to interrupt somebody?
Well, it can.
I mean, in the flow of a conversation, you can kind of feel it out. If you're kind of doing it back and forth, it's okay. But
it's exactly right. If it's a back and forth. If I go on too long right now, you might interrupt me. That's a good sign. Look, you've got the point. For you, if you're talking to your husband and you're used to talking in sound bites, you want to say, okay, I get it. Let's move on. If it feels good, it's a good interruption.
That's what happens to me often. I feel like my attention span is short, so then I'll say, I know that. Can you just, like, you're burying the lead. Does that ever happen to you?
All the time.
You know, so for us, sometimes we want people to get to the point because there's only so much time.
That's right.
Is there like, is the husband or the wife, is one more likely to be the interrupter?
You know, it's really interesting. Some research has actually been done on that. In the work setting, men interrupt women.
Really?
Twice the rate that women interrupt.
That's
and
true.
women,
Really?
when women interrupt, 87% of the time they interrupt another woman.
Oh, really?
In a relationship, men are the ones who tend to be impatient.
So
don't interrupt. Don't interrupt.
No, I'm not going to. Okay. Different classifications of interruption. There's the person who interrupts because they know where your story's headed.
Yes.
They finish your thought before you know what you're going to say. They're like, dude, that's not even the story I was going to tell. No, I know the answer. No, I know where you're going with that. What is that? Who's that person?
That's anxiety.
I'm a little guilty of that. That's anxiety.
It's anxiety.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, I know what you're doing. Listen, I got to interrupt. The San Diego Psych Association wants to give you and Shally a award.
Wait a minute, did you just like interrupt us for that? Wow.
Totally.
Very good.
We want to give you an award for your sensitive, interesting, and funny at times, just like today, an award for what you do for mental health.
Congratulations.
So
Thank
you for the two of you.
See,
Here
Dr.
you go.
Levak knows I love the whole.
You love awards.
Well, yeah. Not really. The whole mental health thing. It's a huge thing, so I love talking about it. I love that we have this with you, and you kind of break everything down for us. That's fantastic. So thank you to you guys for recognizing that, and we'll just keep doing this because you know what? You got to keep the conversation open.
Exactly.
Correct?
You've got to keep the conversation open, and the mission is to understand one another, not to be right. The one thing I want to tell everybody, if you're talking to someone, look at them.
Yes.
Because then you'll know, oh, they've gone off somewhere. And don't keep talking. If the person isn't with you, quit talking. That's the most important thing with a dialogue.
Yeah.
So often couples sit there and don't look at each other.
I had this theory where like kids with certain, I'm trying not to get in trouble with like my wife or anything like that, but I think when you're dealing with small children a lot and you start talking and there's an interruption that happens, when both people just keep talking and see who's going to stop first, right? What is that called? Because I'm dealing with that because I think it's because she talks to a lot of small children all day.
I think
is that a thing?
I think people get anxious. We're living such a high, and they say, I've got to get mine in before you finish. Because if I tell you what I'm thinking, maybe you'll calm down.
Yeah.
Maybe you won't be angry.
Okay.
Remember, it's a dialogue.
Sure.
Take the time
right.
to listen, but look at the partner.
Isn't that what it's about? It's time. It's having the time,
Yes.
for sure.
See, this
so
is
important.
thank you again for this award.
Great.
And I feel like this is kind of like my therapy every week. So
And we
I
really
treat it
thank
as
you.
such. So thank you,
Thank
Doctor.
you.
We appreciate it. Let's get it back.